I want to show you maybe a zoomed in view of the from clause and maybe how to think about how you're using this line. So it can get much more complicated than this, but when you're going to be starting out, the from clause, like we went over before, is where you're getting the data from. So this select clause is this is what I want. This is how I want it. This is, sorted by. This is another way to say kind of how you want it down here. Both of these lines here. But with the from clause, I wanted to kind of highlight maybe one way you can think about this. So this is your database here, Lending Club Sandbox, and this is your table. So it's almost like saying, give me data from Washington, and then the table, it lives within the database, right? So let's call that Seattle. So this might be one way to think about it where you have your state and then your city. You have your database and then your table. And this could be like the database and the table. Your database has many things in it, many tables in it, right? And then your table has the one table of data. So this is how you can maybe think about this where you have your state and your city because you're kind of zooming down into your data. And then you can combine data, right? So you can combine other cities from Washington, or you can combine other states and cities, elsewhere. So we'll get into more of that about how to think about your from clause and what's possible when pulling data and where you're pulling it from. But this is one way to think about it. Instead of just seeing this line and not really knowing how to parse it out with your eyes, you can kind of think about it like this. Database, table, or in other words, maybe state and city. You're kind of zooming down into your data. You're honing in on what you want to pull from. So that's it for this video, guys. Just short and simple. Just how to think about the from clause.